All right, let's head over to streaming for a couple new Netflix releases. The number one Netflix film over the weekend was Look Both Ways, a sliding doors via pregnancy test movie. On the eve of her college graduation, Natalie's life diverges on two parallel paths, one in which she becomes pregnant and another in which she doesn't. The movie stars Riverdale's Lily Reinhart and Top Gun pilot Danny Ramirez with Andrea Savage, Luke Wilson, and Neil Long. Art, should people give Look Both Ways a look?
If you're a fan of Netflix's last number one movie, which was Purple Hearts, it's a Purple Hearts type movie right here.
Yeah.
This is that. Interesting premise. Very good looking cast. I don't think it's saying as much as it thinks it is, but I always look at the rating of what Netflix decides to give a movie. If they give it a TV rating or if they give it a proper movie rating, that usually lets me know where they're seeing this. This is something that would have been an in-between for them, not something that they would ever release theatrically. It's exactly where it should be, which is streaming. I know that there's a lot of undertone. I can't even call them undertones. They are overtones in this film about like what it's trying to address. And I feel like it's one of those movies where it wants to say what it's about, but like secretly, but it's very loud about it.
It doesn't want to go full God's Not Dead.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like that. I don't know. I compare it to Purple Hearts because that was another movie where it's trying to mix two very different ideologies and talking about very hot topic issues. And I think this one is able to do it in a little bit more of a lighthearted way, I want to say, as opposed to Purple Hearts. But look, I like Danny Ramirez. That's all I can say, really. Lily Reinhart's adorable, but if you're going through this situation, I don't know that this is the movie that you would want to watch, I guess.
Right.
Or maybe
I actually think the cast is pretty strong in this one, and that. To its credit, gets it somewhat of the way there, but I think there's just not a lot of there in this movie. It's talking about these two parallel paths, and even though part of the point is the ways in which they are not so dissimilar from each other, they kind of just don't feel different. There's almost no way, aside from paying attention to the clothing and the hairstyle or whether or not she's literally carrying around a baby, to distinguish which Natalie is which. She doesn't change much as a person. Her dynamics don't change much. And even the place that it ends up, it just sort of feels like there's not a lot going on. And I think I could vibe with this general idea of a story of you can take different paths to get to a similar place, but it also isn't I think it just has the wrong tone. It does this weird, cheesy romantic comedy, will they, won't they work out thing, rather than being a little more slice of life and feeling a little bit more lived in a way that might make it more interesting. I don't know. It just, there's just not a lot to hold on to, not a lot to probably relate to other than the broad strokes of the plot. Like I said, I liked some of the cast here, but that's not enough for me to recommend this one.
Interesting premise, though. I think someone could do something good with this, but like you said, it's always when they meet up, they're not just meeting up at the end. It's every 5 minutes they find themselves in the same position, regardless of what path she chose. And then on top of that, the production design, the way that they dress, all of it is just so by the numbers. Did you notice how she's in one red and in the other blue? It's it's all of these different, just very easy check the box type of things where it's not trying to aggravate anybody, and they're not trying to do that. It's not really telling a story or making any decisions for the film, but it's also a big South by ad. I will say that.
Yeah, I was going to ask, does this resemble your experience of seeing short films at the South by Southwest Film Festival?
Oh, yeah, the sold-out Paramount Theater for the short films. Let's go, baby. That was also funny to talk about, it's so not in touch with reality that even in the movie world that it should be in touch with, it does not understand how South by works at all.
And also, how many times would you like to hear a cover of Fun's We Are Young in the next Netflix movie? Plus or minus 3.
I'm not going to do the over or under because I'm going to lose. I feel like that's the one licensed song that they've been able to get. And I think they also had
3 times
KFC in this movie as well. which has been the staple for Netflix. So it's gotten to a point where like us YouTubers use the same royalty-free music. Netflix is doing that with anything that gets a TV rating.
Yeah, I don't know. Not enough there with Look Both Ways for sure, even if maybe there's some interesting things about its plot.